What's up everyone, I am Clay, and like everyone else, I am currently on lockdown due to the situation that is taking over the entire world. With that in mind, I have had some serious time to stare at my different gaming collections all day, every day, and slowly start to freak out trying to figure out a better way to display them. My original Nintendo and Super Nintendo collections are small enough that they're fine how they are, but this Nintendo 64 collection needs some serious help. With 296 games for the system, only 53 are actually sitting on my shelf in these universal game cases. The rest are sitting in boxes in my basement. Right over there, actually. So today, we're going to take a look at why I'm dumping the universal game cases for the collection and going with something a little bit smaller. These things. If you can even see these things. I don't know if you can see them. Okay, so we know that the Nintendo 64 was home to the cardboard boxes of games, just like the Nintendo Entertainment System and the Super Nintendo before it. But what also was interesting with the Nintendo 64 is that we got boxes like this that also included things like a rumble pack or a transfer pack. So they were a little bit more sturdy cardboard, I would say, than your generic N64 boxes that something like a Super Mario 64 would come in and get absolutely just destroyed over the years. Fun fact, this is my original Super Mario 64 box from when I was a child, so that's kind of cool, but it is destroyed over the years. Nothing inside of it anymore, just absolutely garbage. These other ones kind of have made the transition a little bit better to life after the Nintendo 64, but for the most part you'll still see I don't put cases on these, so they're still banged and bruised in some places, like on the corners mostly, but that's to be expected with Nintendo 64 boxes or any cardboard box in general, unless they were just kept in pristine condition from the get-go anyway. With all this information and all this knowledge that we have about the Nintendo 64 and the boxes that it came with, the games came with, there are other options out there for storing your games rather than trying to keep them in a box on a shelf, buy protectors for the box. And that was where I started getting into things like the universal game case. These little universal game cases, just a hard plastic case. They come like this, no artwork or anything, inside of them. They're made for NES, Super Nintendo, N64. They've got circles in here for, I guess, disc-based games, but I've never put a disc-based game in here. But they're there for that. I guess if you wanted to do that, they're there. But for the most part, I've used a lot of them for N64, and they come in handy. They are very, very good cases, but you'll notice that they are big, they're bulky, they're just like a N64 box. They're a little bit thinner. So artwork from the coverproject.net all had to be, fixed and altered so it would fit these cases just fine. But there's more that I want, and these don't come overly cheap. A case of 100 of these is around $75 right now, and while that doesn't seem cheap, when you need nearly 300 of them, it can get kind of pricey. So right now I have about 53 games in my collection boxed with these sitting on the shelf, and the rest sitting in a box somewhere in this basement. As a matter of fact, here is one of those boxes. This is a box of my N64 games that are just laying about in my basement right now. Just strung all over the place. Got some over here that need some back swapped. Definitely that one too. Just, games like this that just need new backs, whatever. But I have a couple boxes like this down here, and these need cases. And they need cases that aren't going to take up a lot of room and that aren't going to be overly expensive. So that brings me to our universal, oh God. Like I was saying, that brings us to our universal game cases. These fit in here just fine. Just like that. Manual can go in there, cover art over top of it. Everything is good, except it's huge. When you set this on a shelf with 295 others, you run out of room awfully fast. So that is where those little cases that I was showing you beforehand are going to come in handy. Now, let me go ahead, I'll pull those out real fast, and we'll take a look at them, but just know that there's 240 more loose cart games laying in my basement in boxes, waiting to go in cases. And also, before you yell at me about putting in labels on these, I understand it hurts the value, but I'm not worried about the value right now. If it comes down to it, I can peel these off, clean the sticker gunk off, and sell it for 50 cents because it's Monster Truck Madness 64. Okay, so now we are here with those plastic cases that you saw in the opening of this video. I ordered these from a website called, hold on a second, they sent me a sticker. It is called videogameboxprotectors.com. This is no way endorsed, sponsored, nothing like that, because they put Bowser on a sticker that is probably not totally legal, but whatever. Okay, now they send you these in, you can order them in like one or a pack of 10 or a pack of 5 or whatever, but I ordered 100 of them. 100 of them was roughly barely over $40, so it's not terrible prices, but you know, it's whatever. I needed it, so I had to get it. And they come in these little like sectioned off chunks of 25. So I've already got some opened, obviously, and inside they're really nicely packaged. They are individually layered with tissue paper in between each one, which is really nice. But then, let's see, I mean, you go in and you just take one out, and they're just, you know, they're just these little bitty clear cases. They're cartridge-sized cases. And you just pop it open, and you slide your God-forsaken game inside of it. Now, one thing I will point out that after I did a couple of mine is on the back side here, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, right here, you can see a glue line. And this glue line is not on this side. So I have these little end labels that you saw for the game, and I don't want those obstructed by that glue line, so I will just slide this in here like that with the glue line on the bottom side of it. And then, I mean, it's a very snug fit. You pop it in, close the tabs down, and your game is in its little case, just like that. And I think this is a really good solution, you know, for stacking these things, putting them on a shelf, however you want to do it, because let's face it, the N64 cart is a strange shape. It is a very odd, it's round, it's got rounded edges. Setting them up on their sides like this, it's not really gonna work unless you stack them all together. And this just makes it a little bit nicer, and they're also protected from dust, protected from scratches, protected from whatever may harm these cartridges while they're sitting on a shelf. So now you've got this nice little display setup of your games, and they look pretty decent. The little shine from the nice clear plastic is a nice little touch. I thoroughly enjoyed these. I ordered them after seeing a picture of someone else's collection with them, and I just wanted to get on here and do a video about them because I was really impressed when I got them in. I was not expecting them to be this good of quality, but they are very, very, very snug fit for the cartridges. And then if you want to get them out, you know, it's just as simple as, you know, you pop the game out, or pop one end open, slide the game out, and then you just, you know, throw it away. But in all seriousness, like the fit of these things is fantastic. It goes right to the edge, as you can see there, and then it's so simple. You just pop it in, boom, you're done. You've got it in. Just watch out for this glue line. Make sure that if you're putting the, did I mess it up? No, it's right there. Okay. Just make sure if you're putting the end labels on your cartridges like this, and ruining absolutely destroying the value of your carts, then, you know, put them away from the glue line so you can see those unobstructed. I have seen people who are getting these and putting them on the end right here, which is also a pretty good idea. I obviously did not have these little cases in mind when I did mine. Otherwise, I probably would have done that and not put them on top of the cart. You know, I mean, like I said, they're super quick to do. You just reach in, you grab one out of its little case. I'll do it again real fast because it's just that fast. There's that glue line I was telling you about. Slide the game in, push the things down, pop it in, boom, you're good to go. Like that. Boom, just like that. Very nice and quick. Game's protected. You know, no dust, no nothing is going to get on this. And it's just something that I thought people might want to know about as an option for displaying loose carts, because not everybody is going to want to go the route of UGCs. They're big, they're bulky, they're expensive. Printing the artwork out is another extra step you have to do. And this is kind of just pop your cart in and go. Especially if you don't care about having a label on it. That's not that big of a deal. But however, if you do want these labels, they are readily available over on Etsy. I will put a link in the description over to a shop on Etsy that I got mine from, because they're actually pretty good quality, and there's a lot of different options over there. If you don't want those, if you just want to search for N64 end labels, that's fine too. I am making no money off any of this. None of this is sponsored, none of it's endorsed, none of it's paid for, nothing. This is all just me sharing my experience with these things with you all, and wanting you all to help your collection stay clean, dust-free, damage-free, all that fun stuff. But I was pleasantly surprised with these. Again, all of these links will be in the description below, but it is videogameboxprotectors.com if you want to check them out. They've got NES, they've got Super Nintendo, they've got a bunch of different things. But like I said, 296 games. I kind of want to swap out every one of them that's in my UGCs right now, Universal Game Cases. Even though I do have manuals in some of them, I can put those manuals in a drawer or something. Hopefully this is useful for somebody out there. But yeah, this is the cartridge protector that I am in love with right now for Nintendo 64. I'm actually looking forward to going through and replacing my collection with these much smaller plastic protective cases. They're going to be easier to stack and easier to display, and I can get all 296 out on my shelves instead of only having 53 and the rest in boxes down here with me in the basement. But I would love to hear if you all have any unique storage ideas for your Nintendo 64 games or any other game system that you might collect for. And if you do have any ideas for more N64 solutions, go ahead and post those down there in that comment section below underneath that like button. And until next time, take care everyone.